If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. You know, now even though it's my 10-year anniversary, we're not having the party. It's not a party show today, but we do have a lot of people that have been on my show before. But I want to say to everybody to have a nice, fun Mother's Day. I won't be on the air on Mother's Day, but I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all my listeners that are mommies out there. I'm going to go in with my first guest, who is Ryan Larson, and he has been on my show now. Gosh, it seems like almost a year.
I think it's pretty close.
Almost a year now.
Yeah.
And you are the CEO of First Line Financial. Welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about you. And, you know, I've been really liking to hear a little bit about what makes you different than anyone else, too.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Congratulations on your anniversary. Happy Mother's Day to all those moms out there, especially my mom. Great woman. She's had 4 kids.
Now, you see, you made me look bad because I didn't say, but my mom's up in heaven, so happy Mother's Day, Mommy, too. But but go ahead.
Yeah, she was, she had to work 2 jobs. We didn't have a lot of money. We were blue-collar worker. I mean, they were blue-collar workers. My dad was in the Air Force. My mom is actually still working at Fry's. She's actually getting ready to retire after 30 years. So I'm super excited. But, she asked me for some help just recently on her retirement account. So thank goodness I've been in the business for a long time and I could help her, and I'm excited. It's always nervous to help your parents because you're like, oh gosh, it's family.
Yeah, you always wonder whether you should help family or not.
Yeah, but I rather help them just because there's a lot of things that you have to be educated in this industry. So after 10 years of experience doing this, working with a lot of different advisors and different companies, and finally getting my feet under me, starting my own business. We've been around for about 2 years now. Definitely in that growth phase of the business. Brought on a couple new employees, and we're definitely getting to the social media aspect of it. Everything. Find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, good.
And it's been really fun. The growth has been a lot better than we expected.
Well, first of all, why are you surprised? First of all, one thing that I have learned about you over this year is that you are all about educating yourself first.
Absolutely.
You have apprenticed with some of the top in the country or in the world, whatever. But you really made sure that you knew exactly what you're doing. When you talk a little bit about your parents, and you do, you better know your stuff even more so because they expect it.
Absolutely.
But so does everyone does, and I think that's really what makes you sort of different, is that you are right on par with everything. We also talked about this a little bit the last time you were on, and I want to talk about it again. Mm-hmm. So, when we think about retirement, obviously we think about the older people that are looking, and they sometimes go for the older, let's say, retirement planner, because maybe they think they can relate to them.
Very wise.
But there's a big difference.
Yes.
And I want you to talk a little bit about that. Go ahead.
That's a great point, Carol, because, I get a lot of clients, and, we just had a seminar last month at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and, a lot of people, they come up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so young, but I'm 39.
Well, you look younger than you are, that's for sure.
Yeah. And but what's really different about me is things have changed. The industry has changed, and if you're not changing, you're essentially dying, because there's a lot of individuals who, like myself, they're motivated, they're trying to make a name for themselves, such as I am, and we're looking to just be a little different. So what makes me different? Well, when we're going through, our working years or our go-go years, right? We're accumulating money. We're hoping, to have a successful retirement. And essentially it's kind of easy. That accumulation phase is pretty simple. You put your money in your 401k plan, your 457s if you're a government employee, and you're just kind of buying and hoping and praying for the best to happen, right? Hopefully the markets are going to go up. But, when you transition to that preservation and income phase, it's a lot different. So that's kind of where I've separated myself. Now, I still love the stock market. I definitely, there's points, and it makes sense for certain situations to put clients' money to keep pace with inflation, keep purchasing power. But you need to make sure that you have a well-diversified portfolio. And when I speak of a well-diversified portfolio, what does that mean? It's not having all your money concentrated in the markets, okay? It's having some outside the markets that's non-correlated, meaning if the markets are going down, these types of investments or alternative investments keep paying you steady dividends or steady income. It's all about cash flow. And most retirees that I work with would, they're better off having more cash flow than accumulation.
I like the cash flow.
Everyone needs cash flow. Absolutely. You stop working. Right. Where's your income come from? You need to make sure that your portfolio is generating that income that you need. Right. And then obviously you need to make sure that you don't want to be risking a lot of your money. So you might want to have that principally protected. People want guarantees on their money. So that's where we might want to use some like insurance products. We're looking for guarantees. We know our money's going to be there. We don't need to worry about the market. So that's what I'm talking about, having a diversified portfolio. Okay.
You also have things that are different because you made yourself so that, if there might be something, and I'm not remembering exactly what you call those different things. Please say what it is.
Yeah, they're alternative investments.
Right.
I mean, essentially, we look at it as like the endowment model. Okay. So if you go on the Google monster, the Google search engine, you're going to look up like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, how do they invest? And you're going to find endowment model. And what they're doing is they're looking to just move up on the capital stack. Okay. So like, let's say, a company goes into stress or they become financially, they have financial problems. Well, if you're a creditor, you're going to get paid first. So essentially that's where you're going to start moving up in the capital stack. You're going to get paid first before any creditors. Obviously the government's going to get their money first, but
they always do.
Yeah, they always do. But that's what we like to look at. We like to look at alternative investments, but our process is still much different, okay? Because it's not about the accumulation, it's not about the preservation, it's about legacy planning, estate planning, taxes, right? It all has to come together. And so as a holistic wealth planner, we're looking at taxes, we're looking at how is this going to affect your, taxes in the future. We're looking at if you have kids or if you want to leave a charitable donation after you pass away, how do we do that in the most cost-effective manner? So it all has to work in harmony. And that's what a true wealth holistic planner does. And that's why I think I'm a little bit different right now, because a lot of advisors out there are just in that accumulation. They're just going to put your money in the markets and you're not going to talk to them for a year. Another
thing about going with somebody who you feel, maybe not safe with, that's not the right word, but let's say you have somebody that you've been working with for a long time. They don't know the new stuff. And you know what? You said it right. Everything is changing. This world is changing. And if you don't listen up to some of these things, you could put yourself in a bad position, and you don't even know it. And so you obviously do second looks. Second opinions, big time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're big advocates of that. We like to, we don't want to have our client or potential clients come in and we just like shoot their portfolio down. What we like to do is we like to say, okay, what's the purpose of your money? What are you hoping to accomplish with it? That's where we start. It's all about you and what you want to do with your money. Then we look at like, where are you receiving your income? Do you have Social Security? Do you have pensions? And then we look at your liabilities, because if a client comes in and they have $400,000 and they say, Ryan, I need $40,000 to live on, well, guess what? That's a 10% year consistently. Okay?
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a break. I got to go to a break. But I want to get everybody to know that we've got our lines open here for you to get his white paper. I love his white paper because it is soup to nuts. That's everything that you need to know on retirement and what you need to know. And it is long, but it is so easy to read. And there's charts, and you are so meticulous in how you put this together. So we've got our lines open here for everyone to call in and get it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everyone call in throughout the rest of the show. And also, you can check him out. It's firstlinefin.com. They do free consultations. You can also call him at his office at 480-729-6246. We'll be back in just a minute.
Traded it all if I gave it.
Welcome back.
Away for
We're talking with Ryan Larson. He is the CEO of First Line Financial. Ryan, I love when you come on because you always are like, you're thinking about maybe even having a radio show one day. You really love this, but
I really do.
You do. But you always say, well, Carol, I'm not sure what should I talk about. And I say you, because one thing in your business is it is a relationship-based business, big time.
Yes.
And that's why I like them to hear you and what you
Right.
have to say about yourself. We also have our lines open here for everyone to get his white paper. It's retirement and what you need to know. I believe everyone should have this. I mean, I don't care who you are. You should have this so that you look at it and kind of know what you need to do. And yeah, he's of the younger financial planners, but you know what? That's so good. Fresh blood. There's nothing like it.
I think it's great. I mean, you got to stay abreast on all the changes. Like there's this, the DOL, the Department of Labor, they're coming out with this new ruling where it's making all investment advice givers become a fiduciary.
Which is a long time coming.
It really is. I mean, President Obama was on, the USA Today saying that he thought it should be, mandatory, and now they're making it law. Mm-hmm. So, what is a fiduciary? Just comes from the Latin term for trust. So it means I have a legal, ethical, and moral obligation to do what's in my client's best interest first. Whereas if I work for like a big brokerage firm, like a Morgan Stanley or Edward Jones, and they're great. I mean, essentially, but they just have a different sales model. Okay, what we are, we charge a flat fee of the assets under management. So it's very straightforward. It's very transparent. There's no hidden fees. And that's the big thing that a lot of your listeners tonight or today should be thinking of. What are the hidden fees of my 401k plans? Because there's internal fees, implicit and explicit costs of all these, different 401k plans. And it takes like an advisor like myself to really understand and break those down. That's what we do when we do our second opinions. So, we sit down together, I look at your portfolio, ask those 3 very important questions. What's the purpose of your money? Where you're receiving income, what are your liabilities? We start kind of coming up with a game plan, but then we want to look at your portfolio, because if the portfolio is not allocated the way that you want, or your risk tolerances change, you're looking to you're just maybe becoming a little bit more risk averse now, things need to change. Instead of like stocks, maybe we need to start positioning ourselves into bonds. Personally, I don't like bonds because obviously if you look at interest rates, bonds sit on a teeter-totter, right? Interest rates go up, bond prices go down. Interest rates go down, bond prices go up. Where are interest rates? So I believe the next bubble is the bond bubble. That's just my take, because obviously interest rates have nowhere else to go but up. So we saw a huge, exodus in the bond markets in 2008. So now everyone's thinking about, where do I put my money? Where's safe? We can't go to a bank, right?
Forget that.
Yeah, CDs, certificates of disappointments. But there's other vehicles out there that a lot of people aren't aware of, even those savvy advisors that have been around for 30 plus years. And, I've worked with those types of advisors. I picked their brains. I made sure that I knew kind of the foundation of what good financial advising comes from. But then you want to use different vehicles and different strategies to optimize, maybe it's your portfolio, your stock positions. Maybe it's, maybe we use some interest-bearing accounts, or maybe structured notes, or business development companies, different vehicles that could do different things. So it's just like you look at building a house. Once again, if you're going to build a house, you need multiple tools, right? You don't just need a hammer, right? You need a saw, you need levelers, you need nails. Nails are good for the roof, but that's important. You need to make sure that you have that solid foundation. You put up your walls, you put a strong, roof on there.
Right.
That's the same thing with your portfolio. It all comes down to what's the guarantees on my portfolio. Once I stop working, how do I generate that income that I need to live off of every day, month after month, year after year, decade after decade? How do I, is Social Security going to supplement that? Or do I have a pension? And if it doesn't, what other vehicles that can give me that performance that I'm looking for, that I don't need to worry about it.
Now, my opinion is that everyone that, even if you already have a financial planner, should just do a free consultation with you.
Yeah.
Find out whether or not, he knows something that maybe someone else doesn't that makes sense. And that's what you do with everyone. You do this free consultation. Your phone number to call direct, it's 480-729-6246. Also, you can call in here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Get this white paper that he wrote. I mean, that's going to tell you all about him.
Yeah. I had this really savvy investor come in the office the other day. He's a hard money lender. He understands about real estate. He blew my mind. I mean, as much as I was, he was learning, I was learning too, because I'm like, okay, how does this hard money thing work? But so he really was focused. He was concentrated on real estate. He got hurt in 2008. And, I just said, hey, are you aware that there's different types of real estate that you can invest in? And I described the non-traded, non-correlated REITs, real estate investment trust. And not a lot of people are aware of those. Even him, that's been in the business for 30 plus years, he wasn't aware of it. Mm-hmm. So I educated him. I brought him up to speed. We're going to do business together, because now he's like, oh my gosh, I love this. Why isn't anyone else talking about this? Why isn't anyone showing us that there's other alternative places that we could place our money? Mm-hmm. That's the big difference, Carol. A lot of these advisors out there, they stand in that. There's like two sides of the street. You got the broker model, and then you got the fiduciary model, or the investment advisory model. Okay. The broker model, they're just going to put your money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and they're going to generate a commission. It's going to be passed down to them, and it doesn't matter what happens to your portfolio, they still get paid. Mm-hmm. Whereas a fiduciary or an investment advisory model, essentially, we got to do what's in your best interest first. We charge a flat fee, okay? But then we have all the tools in our toolbox. It doesn't matter what we want to do together. We could do anything. We use different custodians. We use different insurance companies. We use different banks. So we all want to work together to build your portfolio the way that you want to.
Now, again, you could call them direct. That phone number, it's 480-729-6246. The website is FirstLineFin. It's FIN.com. You could check them out there. Also, call in here. Everybody should keep on calling to get this retirement and what you need to know. It is, I would say, 15 pages at least, but really in depth but easy to understand. Not
has some
hard.
Color too.
I love that too. But charts and pictures and people like that. But really, more than anything, this is soup to nuts of what everyone really needs to know, and will give you a chance to understand him too more. So I'm going to leave the lines open throughout the rest of the show for everyone to call in at 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And when you do your seminars, and you do it, this last one with Chris. Let me just tell you guys, it was 2 days, and there was at least 45 people for each event.
For each night.
Each night. And, so they pack in with him because they do want to hear from you and listen to you about what you have to say. One of these days, I'm going to get you to do a seminar right
I
on
love
the air.
it.
That'd be
really neat.
So
I don't know if, you could do seminar. Can you do seminars?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
All right.
Why not? So, again, we're going to keep those lines open here for you to call in and get this white paper and get to know him. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What would be some of your final words that you would want to leave everyone with today?
Well, since it is Mother's Day coming up, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, I'm going to be working with my mom, and there's nothing that I'm going to do different for my mom than I wouldn't do for my client. Mm-hmm. She's going to go through the same process. I mean, I love my mom, but every client that comes in the door, it doesn't matter how much money they have, they go through the same process, and every good business has a process, right? And I would just leave you with that, okay? I'm going to look at you as my family. I'm going to look at you as my mom or my dad. I mean, I know everyone out there has worked hard. You know, they go to work Monday through Fridays, even maybe Saturdays or Sundays. Their money is what's going to get them, you know, to the end of the day, and it needs to work for them. And I'm going to show you how it's going to work for you.
You call yourself a portfolio builder, which is really nice, and it's quite different. He's a fiduciary, if I said that correctly, and it makes him different. Maybe get a second opinion. Call him and get a free consultation from him. Find out exactly, maybe something that you may not know, and he can help you with. Again, that phone number direct, it's 480-729-6246. It's First Line Fin, FIN.com, or call in here and get this white paper, 602-277-5369.